Hello, good morning. Today we are going to work on the prepared book. We're going to do the pages 58 and 59. And this is the unit 9 that is called My Day. I get up at 7 o'clock. At what time do you usually wake up? I usually get up like at 6 a.m. when I work, and when I don't work, I wake up like 10 a.m. more or less. Okay, so we are going to start doing the activities. First, we have listening, but since you don't have the audios, we are not going to do this activity. We are going to do it later in the classroom, okay, in the school. In the activity number 2 is also listening, but we can do it without the listening, without the audio, sorry, because we have the words here. So we have to see which word fits better on the text. Tenemos que ver qué palabra queda mejor en el texto. We have the example 0. It says, Jose's clothes are new. For example, we cannot say Jose's can't. No, because remember that when we have the S, it means that it's something from that person. So we cannot say Jose's can, Jose's can't, Jose's different, Jose's everyday. Maybe it could be Jose's teeth are new, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to say that we have new teeth, right? It's not no, it's not that common. So that's why the correct answer is clothes. And then we have the number 1. It says, the next photo club project is things we do. So we have to decide if it's better can, can't, different, everyday, or teeth. Which one do you think it's better for this sentence? ¿Cuál palabra crees que va mejor para esta oración? In the number 2, it says, you clean your in the morning. In the number 3, it says, Jose go to the next photo club with his friend. So you have to decide what word is better for here. And the number 4 says, Jose, go for a drink. And the number 5, it says, Jose's day is, from Rosa's day. And when you finish the activity 2, we are going to do the activity 3. It says, look at the things you do in the morning. Match the pictures to the words in the box. So we have some pictures. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. And we have to read these sentences. We have clean your teeth, leave the house, get dressed, walk to school, catch the bus to school, get up, have breakfast, wake up, and wash your face. So you have to match which one is doing that action. ¿En cuál están haciendo esa acción? Okay, the actions that we have here. On page 59, the activity number 4 is also listening, so we are not going to do the number 4, okay? So let's go to the activity 5, that it says, make correct sentences from the box. We have here the subjects. We have I, you, he, she, we, you, and they. And then we have some sentences, but the sentences don't have a subject. For example, we have catches the bus to school, clean our teeth, gets up at 7 o'clock, go to school at 8 o'clock, has breakfast at 7:30, get dressed, walk to school, wash my face. So you have to make sentence using complete the sentence using these subjects, okay? You have to add the subject. Tienen que agregarle el sujeto a estas oraciones incompletas. We have the example here. I go to school at 8 o'clock. Okay, so since we have go, the verb go, remember that I, you, we, you, and they, I, you, we, you, and they, for these subjects, we put the verb in the same form. It doesn't change the verb. Cuando usamos esos sujetos que les acabo de mencionar, no necesitamos hacer ningún cambio en el verbo. So here it could say, you go to school at 8 o'clock, we go to school at 8 o'clock, you go to school at 8 o'clock, or they go to school at 8 o'clock. Because the verb is conjugated for those subjects. But we cannot say, he go to school. No, it has to be goes. I'm going to write some examples so you can understand better. Remember that I, you, we, and they, with those subjects, we use the verb in base form. For example, I drink water every day. Okay, so the verb stays the same. Al verbo no le cambiamos nada. Or instead of saying I, we can say you drink water every day, or we drink water every day, or they drink water every day. But for the rest of the subjects that are he, she, and it, for those verbs, we have to add an S. That depends with the verb. For example, if we want to use the verb drink, si queremos usar el verbo drink con he, she, or it has to be he drinks with S at the end. You see, we add the S at the end, and here it stays the same. So we have to add the S. He drinks orange juice. In the morning, let's say. In the morning. Or instead of using the subject he, we can say she drinks. For she, we also need to add the S at the end of the verb. And the same for it. It drinks orange juice in the morning. But there are another examples of verbs that it changes different. For example, if we want to use the verb go, we can say he go. It's not goes. No, it's not like that. It's goes. That is pronounced goes. He goes to the school. Or the same, we can use here she or it goes. Okay, let's keep she. She goes to, sorry for this, to the school. And another example is, for example, the verb have, el verbo tener. We cannot say he has. No, it's not like this. It's he has. This is irregular. This is an irregular verb. So it changes. He has a lot of homework. Okay, so that's how we have to conjugate the verb. Así es como se conjuga el verbo have. So there are different forms to conjugate the verbs with he, she, or it. But basically, we almost always have to add only the s. Casi siempre solo se agrega la s. Another example is, for example, she jumps, or he eats, or it takes. Most of them, we only have an S. Para la mayoría de estos, se agrega solamente la S. And I don't know if you remember how is the negative form. La forma negativa. We saw this in class. Esto ya lo vimos en clase. But the bad thing about this is that I was in the hospital, so you saw this with your other teacher. So lo vieron con su otro maestro porque yo estaba incapacitada. So I'm going to try to explain again. That's why we're seeing it again. For the negative form, it's kind of tricky because we need a necesitamos auxiliar. The auxiliary. The auxiliary for I, you, we, and they is do. For example, I don't or do not take pictures, for example. And the auxiliary for he, she, and it is does. For example, he doesn't laugh. Laugh significa reír. Okay, he doesn't laugh. Or let's use he doesn't have. He doesn't have a pet. Since we are using the s here in the auxiliary, we don't need to use it again in the verb. Como ya estamos, como quien dice, usando la s en el auxiliary, because it's doesn't or don't, we don't have to use it again in the verb. No se usa otra vez en el verbo. Okay, we keep it only here in the auxiliary, not in the verb. Okay, so that's how we make the positive form and the negative form for present simple. This is present simple, remember. So that's how you can know which subject you are going to use. For example, if he says catches, which subjects can you use? ¿Qué sujetos podemos usar para catches? Which subjects can we use for clean? Which subjects can we use for gets? Which subjects can we use for go, for has, for get, for what, for wash. Okay, remember that we have to see if it has an S or no. Si tiene la S or no. Okay, that's how we're going to do this activity. Then we have this chart, and it's also with listening. So we're not going to do it today. Here we have some sentences with present simple in positive, en positivo. It says, I get up and get dressed. Rosa gets up and gets dressed. She catches the bus to school. As you can see, I doesn't have an S. I no lleva S. Rosa, that is she, sería el sujeto she. They are using the S. Gets up, gets dressed. She catches. I have. I clean. Jose has and cleans, because Jose is the subject he. And then we go. Jose goes, because Jose is the subject he. And then we have this speaking activity about you. The activity 7 says, tell your partner about what you do in the mornings. Okay, so you have to write on your notebook. This you have to do it on your notebook. Es una libreta, okay? What things you do in the morning. For example, I'm going to write what I do in the morning. For example, in the morning, I take my medicine. I cook my breakfast. I drink tea. I wash my teeth. And I go to work, for example. Okay, so you have to write something like this. Tienes que escribir algo así on your notebook. Here we have another example. I get up. That is important. I get up and I have breakfast with my mom and dad, and I clean my teeth and get dressed. In the number 8, you're supposed to say about your partner. Se supone que tienen que decir sobre su compañero. For example, Paolo gets up and washes his face, or whatever the other person wrote, de acuerdo a lo que un compañero haya escrito. But you can do it, for example, with your mom, with your dad, or with someone you live with, con alguien que vives, okay? For example, my dad gets up and washes his teeth, and then he takes a bath, or whatever. And you have to also write just about 2 persons, sobre 2 personas, okay? Also in your notebook. In the number 9, it says, write about what your partner does in the morning before school. Sorry, write about what your partner does in the mornings before school. Oh, yes. It's kind of the same. So we are not going to do this because it's the same this and this. Es básicamente lo mismo. So you are going to do it just once. O sea, esta actividad no la van a hacer porque es básicamente lo mismo de acá. Solo que se supone que aquí hablan y aquí es escribir, pero como lo estoy pidiendo que lo escriban en su libreta, no vamos a hacer esto, okay? We're going to skip this one. And that's it for today. If there is any question, please let me know. Bye.